Let me ask you something. When you hear the word representation, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Where do you seek representation? Probably a movie, a magazine, a celebrity on the red carpet, a major brand campaign, maybe that one moment where you finally saw someone who looked like you in a big Hollywood film and you cried or you felt seen or you felt like something finally existed in the world's eyes. And yeah, the moments matter. They matter so much, but what if I told you some of the most powerful representations happening right now isn't from coming from Hollywood at all? What if I told you that the girl on TikTok with 500 followers doing her makeup in her bedroom might be doing more for how you see yourself than any blockbuster ever could? Today, I want to talk about small representation, the kind that doesn't need a red carpet, the kind that happens every single day on your For You page, and why we need to stop dismissing it. Here's the thing about mainstream media. It's powerful, but it's slow. It's selective, it's market driven. It decides who gets to be seen based on what sells, what's safe, what is seen as marketable. And for years, decades really, women have been taught to wait to be chosen, wait to be cast, wait for a brand to decide their skin tone is worth including in the foundation range. Wait for the movie studios to decide their body type deserves a love story. Wait for a magazines to decide their culture is trending enough to feature. Women conditioned to believe the visibility only counts when it comes to fame attached. When a powerful institution stamps it for approval, the social media game change. Social media created a space where you don't need permission to exist visibly. Where a woman can pick up her phone, film herself being fully herself, and accidentally become the exact representation somebody else needed that day. And yet people still make faces when you bring this up. It's just TikTok. She's not even famous. Why are you acting like some random girl online matters? But that reaction is kind of dismissal. It reveals exactly what we've been trained to think. We've been taught only respect women's visibility when it comes from power. When it's been validated by someone bigger, someone richer, somebody much more famous. Honestly, that's exactly what we need to talk about this. So a woman does not have to be famous to make another woman to be still seen. And let me say this again. A woman does not have to be famous to make another woman feel seen. In fact, sometimes the small careers represents better than the celebrities do. Because they're not filtered through publicists, they're not managed by branding teams, they're not performing for any award shows. They're just existing as they create, share, and being somewhat familiar. And sometimes familiarity is exactly what we need, not just fantasy, not something polished, unattainable idea, just someone who looks like us, sounds like us, moves like us, existing without apology. Think about it. When you scroll and you see a girl with the same skin tone casually proving that your complexion is gorgeous and not difficult, a create with your body type wearing exactly what she wants, not what flattering supposedly mean, a woman with your hair texture showing her routine unbothered and ashamed. Girl with your accent speaking confidently, making sure you feel less embarrassed about yours. A woman with your facial features, maybe the nose you were teased about, the face shape you never saw in magazine, posting selfies like she's the main character. That hits differently than seeing a celebrity who sort of looks like you, but also filtered through a professional glam team in Photoshop. The small careers feel reachable. She feels real. She feels like proof that someone you can just exist without changing, without shrinking, without waiting. And mainstream media often pick that one acceptable version of a woman from a given community and represent her like she represents everyone else. One body type, one skin tone, one personality, one aesthetic. But social media breaks that pattern. And on social media, you can find the glamorous girl and the awkward girl, the nerdy girl and the soft girl, the academic and the gamer, the girl who loves to do her makeup and the girl who loves science, the quiet girl and the funny girl, the girl who fits one aesthetic and the girl who fits none. Maybe women are not one stereotype, we're not one thing, and we deserve to see ourselves represented in our contradiction, all our phases, and all in our betweens. So here's something people don't talk about enough. Every day, women create culture constantly. They create makeup trends that brands later copies. They create fashion essays that magazines later write about. They create slang, poses, editing style, confidence movement, whole online communities, and then mainstream media picks it up and acts like they invented it. A regular girl on TikTok can inspire thousands to embrace their natural hair, their skin tone, their body, their style. She can make people feel less alone without becoming famous, and she can shift how an entire generation can see beauty and never get credit for it. So, why only call it something real representation after it becomes famous? Why does a woman only become worthy of admiration once a larger platform notices her? Why do we ignore the women who started it? That mindset that only famous visibility counts is exactly what keeps women waiting, waiting to be chosen, waiting to be validated, waiting for someone to say, now you matter. But what if we stop waiting? What if we start recognizing that the girl filming in her bedroom already matters? That her visibility already matters, that her impact on people who sees her is already real. Now, I want to talk about something that people love to dismiss. Maybe fan edits. I know. People hear fan edits and think it's something unserious, like just like some teenager with too much time in a video app. But fan edits are like a visual storytelling, and they matter more than you think. Like a fan edit can completely change how someone is perceived. It can take a woman who's usually treated like a side character, a background figure, a funny edit, and frame her as romantic, powerful, mysterious, elegant, ironic. No, look at her. She deserves the pretty song too. She deserves the slow motion movement. She deserves the aesthetic. She deserves to be the main character. And for someone watching who has never seen a woman like themselves romanticized, that can be like world shifting if you think about it. Because mainstream media not only romanticize every woman equally, some women are shown as strong but never soft, some as funny but never desirable, some as beautiful but never complex, some are visible but never admired. Fans edits push back against that. They reframe what could have been taught to overlook. They say your features aren't flawed, they just weren't being framed with beauty. Sometimes you need to realize you never see someone like you romanticized until you finally do. And that one fan edit, that one video, that one mood board, you can realize like, oh, I can be seen that way too. So self-image isn't built in one big moment. It's built in small pieces over years. It's built from noticing who gets praised, who gets ignored, who gets chosen, and who gets rejected, who gets to be called beautiful, who gets told to change, who gets to be the love engine, and who gets to be the joke. Girls notice these things, even when adults act like they don't. They notice who is treated like the standard, who is allowed to be delicate, who is allowed to be desired, who is allowed to be complicated, who is allowed to be the main character. And when they see a woman like them being admired, treated, respected, or centered, they start believe those things aren't meant for them. That's why representation matters. Not because like women are weak, not because girls need constant validation, because the world teaches girls early which women are considered worthy of attention, representation, challenges that it gives girls more option to how they see themselves. A makeup tutorial can give a girl realize her skin tone isn't difficult. The industry just wasn't made with her mind. A fashion video can help a woman feel confident in her body that mainstream fashion rarely celebrates. A creator speaking in her natural accent can make someone feel less ashamed of theirs. A girl showing her natural hair can help another girl stop seeing her own hair as a problem. These small moments add up because they become proof that different types of women can exist visibly and confidently. And sometimes the creator never even shows. She just posts a video, she just got dressed, she just did her makeup, she just exists online. And somewhere another girl watched it and feel less alone. So here's what I want you to take from this. The mainstream representation is important, Movies matter, TV matter, campaigns matter, famous women matter. We should not absolutely demand better for major platforms, but we should only not remain is to wait for them. We should also recognize the representation that already happened around us, the everyday women creating culture, building confidence, inspiring others, making people feel visible in small but meaningful ways. Because sometimes the representation that changes you isn't the biggest moment, but sometimes the smallest ones. Sometimes it's not a celebrity, it's not a movie, and it's definitely not a magazine cover. Sometimes it's just a woman online being herself, making another woman feel like she can be herself too. And that matters, that counts, that is real representations. So stop waiting to be chosen. Start noticing the women who are already representing you. Start supporting the small creators who are shifting culture. Start recognizing your visibility that doesn't need mainstream approval to be valid. And maybe start posting yourself too, because someone out there is looking for exactly what you are, and you might be the small representation they need today. Let me know in the comments, has a small creator or a random post ever made you feel seen in a way mainstream media never did? Drop their ad if you want. Let's give them some love. Let's resonate this. Subscribe for more conversations like this, and I'll see you in the next one.